Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Somewhat Minty podcast. I am Matthew Garrison. This is Simon Moore,
Hi.
and we're coming at you from my basement.
It's pretty nice.
So, watchers who may know us, and probably all of you, because no stranger would ever watch this, we're doing a podcast now.
It's going to be great fun.
This was actually Simon's idea.
It was.
Tell us about that.
Alright, so every time we would walk to D&D, almost every single Friday, me and Matt would have good ideas, great discussions, and I thought, why not record it all and post it on the internet
And
for people not to watch?
I said, Simon, if we carried around a microphone while we're walking on the side of, busy back roads and residential streets, it would sound like garbage.
So then this happened.
So we never did it. And now, 3 months later, we're finally doing it in my basement.
It's a good spot to do it.
It's a good spot as any.
Mm.
This podcast may be boring to a lot of people. To most people. To almost all people, I would say.
To all people.
To all people. But if you stick with us, we'll probably talk about topics such as Dungeons and Dragons. We played that a lot. We just got done playing that,
twice today.
Yeah, we played it. Oh, I should probably check off my checklist, but I don't have a pen with me, so never mind. But yeah, we just played D&D twice today. We just finished up 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, something like that.
I think so.
We are in our school's drama club.
It's pretty fun.
We did the
Lights
lighting.
crew.
That's basically our entire personality. Can be boiled down to two things:
Yeah.
drama club, lights crew, and Dungeons and Dragons.
And memes. But
yeah, memes. But
that's just about everybody these days.
Yeah. I remember being a meme was cool. Me neither.
No.
Alright, well, let's talk about D&D.
Let's talk about it.
What happened in our first session today? The one with our good friends, Oscar, Cooper, and Brady.
Ooh, great fun. Let's see.
So you play an elf druid. You're a hen, right?
I do.
You're a hen knightly.
I do. He's a great guy. Loves his son. Hasn't seen him in a while.
2 weeks.
Hasn't seen him in a while. He's a better father than mine was.
That's kind of sad.
We didn't establish a theme.
Yeah, okay, we're talking about D&D now.
Alright, so he's pretty cool. He's got his Shingolite, one of the best spells in the game.
I'd agree.
Cantrips. Poison spray's pretty good. Looking forward to the Battle Royale coming up next time.
Yes, next Friday we are going to be, we're not recording or anything, so I don't know why you would care. But next Friday our D&D is having a Battle Royale. Durahan versus Bulgroff versus Uriel versus Arthur. Those names mean nothing to you. So let me explain a few things. Uriel is a halfling wizard who used to be a human and was transformed by some druids after he died. Dungeons and Dragons great.
It is.
Arthur is a human fighter and has always been a human fighter. Bulgroff is a human barbarian and used to be a half-orc barbarian and met the same fate to the druids. And of course, Uriel, as played by my friend Simon here, is a elf druid and probably the most powerful person in the party because druids are freaking amazing.
Druids are pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have a pretty good chance of winning the next Battle Royale.
I feel like Bulgroff has a fighting chance.
He does.
Arthur's kind of left in the dust, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Uriel.
If this was a 6th level Battle Royale, maybe Arthur would have a chance with his extra ability score improvement. But it doesn't look good for him.
Uriel may have some good high power spells, but he's pretty squishy, so.
I think his hit points are still in the 20s at this point.
Probably, and his speed isn't that good either.
Yeah, just a solid 30, same as Arthur.
Looks like me and Bulgroff are the speedy boys of the group, but I'm better.
I'd have to. I can't really take sides on the DM, but.
True.
But, so what happened this session, right?
I'm trying to remember.
Well, our friend Uriel. Well, let's go back a session.
Alright.
Talk about that.
I don't think I was entirely there for that one.
Alright, so I'll try to recap it. I remember the details, so thanks for that. So you were just, you met a friend, his name was Jack Crestflow.
Yep.
And he had given you a few jobs to do, so you decided to go back for more, and you found he had been murdered, but we can only assume it was a cult you had been trying to take down. So under investigating his house, you found it was trapped with many magical things. You found lots of gold in his basement. You stole from a dead man. You weren't entirely there for that, so I can't fault you.
Yeah.
You were party members did steal from a dead man, and Olgroth, the half-orc barbarian, human barbarian, not bloody, found a magical mirror, tried to talk to his mirror self, took a dump in somebody's bed, trashed a dead man's bedroom, and then left. But then our good friend Uriel, Volgoth actually sat out the going through the traps area because he almost died because he's a
Yeah, I remember that from the
pansy.
traps.
Yeah, he's a pansy. He acts all tough, but he's a sweetheart inside. Volgoth. He's got a heart of gold.
He's a great guy.
Great guy, great friend. Are we talking about Volgoth or Brady?
What's the difference?
Yeah, honestly.
One's taller.
By a whole foot. Yeah, 5'8" and 6'8". But, so then our friend Uriel decided to go upstairs alone and trapped himself in the mirror with his reflection, and his reflection tried to impersonate him. Unfortunately, it's kind of impossible to metagame when the DM is doing a PC's voice, which, it's pretty clear at that point, like, this is not the real person. You're not just going to walk away with this guy.
Yeah.
And a few other people went in and out of the mirror. I think Arthur did. I think you did at one point, or at least your mirror self came out of the mirror, one or the other. But all in all, everyone is okay, except for Uriel, who left the mirror room, got trapped in the dimension of mirrors. And now we're going to pick up from the session we just played today.
And
You were actually there.
I was, and now I remember it after hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
So Uriel came out of the mirror from a different mirror on an entirely different continent.
Yep.
Met up-
the ocean westward
Met up with King Nomus,
of Tobolstein.
who sent him back through the teleporter gate, back to Vox, and then
Into the home of a duke who has a vendetta against him. But if you remember from our previous description of Uriel,
he had his body swapped.
he used to be a human and now he's a halfling, so he was not recognizable to Duke Grant.
Then he came back to his house. I saw him, asked him how he got back, what happened to him, where he went, and he fell asleep.
Didn't say anything. So while Uriel took a nap, the rest of the party went out in search of new cool magic items. He found a staff that turned into a snake and decided it was, nifty, but entirely useless. But with Urahen's strict not using metal policy, there's not much else for him there.
True.
You picked up your custom brooches from the blacksmith, definitely the weirdest thing he's ever asked you to make, and got Volgroth and Arthur some commissions to make their weapons slightly better. But then the nitty gritty, you guys found Duke Grant, his daughter, was kidnapped. Or not kidnapped, my apologies. Whoops, spoiler alert. Doesn't actually happen. But
She went missing. She
but
ran away.
What Duke Grant thought was that his daughter ran away with someone from the Grimeford, which in Vox is the lowest of the low of the town. They are from the Rosemire, which is the tip-top royalty and nobility. That's the same thing. Clergy. So he says, well, my lovesick daughter has run away, and I need someone to go get her for me. And of course, this breaks poor Uriel's heart, because the biggest part of Uriel's backstory is he hails from Vox, actually. And he had a quick affair with Rosetta Grant, Duke Grant's daughter. And he had to flee, and he stole Duke Grant's wand. It was almost discovered by casting the wrong spell in Duke Grant's presence, actually.
That was a close one.
Yeah, luckily he figured out a spell that didn't take material components. He's lucky I learned that combat. I shouldn't have.
You shouldn't have. It would have made it so much more interesting.
Yeah. So, jeez, I just lost my train of thought. Where did we leave off on this one?
That Uriel's entire backstory.
Oh, right. So he had a thing for this girl, and she had a thing for him. And when he found out that she was actually a runaway with someone else, it broke his little heart, his little halfling heart. So he went, and he didn't tell the party, but then the party found out from a different source. Nardini Bluntmail, who owns Bluntmail's wands.
Which is where I found the magic wand that magic staff that I didn't get.
Yeah, it's cool, but not
Expensive.
Not really worth the money.
Yeah.
But like almost 2,000 gold pieces. So then, when night came, you decided to search around in looking for Rosetta. When Arthur was stopped by a member of the cult you've been trying to take down, the Harvesters, which you just learned the name of this session.
Yes.
It's in like 4 sessions you just learned the name of the cult.
We've only run into him twice.
You never thought to ask.
Nope.
And recognizing him from the cult meeting that you guys had infiltrated earlier, he reminded him that there was a meeting at 3 a.m. in the Elder Fields tonight, and to spread the word to other cult members. So you all snuck in. Well, you and Arthur were together.
Yeah,
And
the other
you
two
snuck
were.
in and told Volgrop and Uriel to hide in the silo. You take a rough. You have a problem.
Alright, so then we stood next to each other in this massive circle of other people, and the guy that, what's it called? The guy that found out that some of the people in the circle were traitors last time, Jack Davis?
Almost. Davis McKinley.
Same thing. Davis McKinley, he walked into the circle carrying a girl in a white dress. She had a hood on over her head. And then he took it off, and we found out that it was the girl we were looking for.
Was that a grant?
Yeah, that's what I said. And so, when this was happening, Bolgroff and Uriel snuck out of the silo and were seen by all of the cult members.
All in all, terrible decision on their part.
Which is when Arthur called the code word Bazinga.
It was something stupid. It was almost as if it was like Bazongo or something.
Something similar. It started with a B, ended with a G. And then we had to roll for initiative.
I told everyone except one person, Henry, who's the person you ran into on the street with Arthur, to stay behind. There was a great battle between Davis, Henry, and you four, with everyone going unconscious at least once except for you. He tried to convince you to join him in his cult. Fun fact. This is probably function a little earlier. The cult follows Dyrus, the evil goddess of agriculture, who is sister to Brigid, the goddess of agriculture that Uriel follows. And these are real goddesses in different mythologies. If you look them up, you will find they are not sisters, because this is D&D and I made this all up. So if you're fact checking me, I'm definitely wrong. But he tried to convince Uriel to join the cult and follow Dyrus instead of
Brigid.
Instead of Brigid, and or he would kill his friends, and he successfully did that, and everyone hit level 5.
Well, I lied to him, telling I would join him.
Yeah,
and he fell for it. And then
I think
everybody.
Yeah, you rolled a 7, and I rolled a 5 plus 1.
Yeah, and then everybody got up. They killed Henry. And then,
and then he ties. Then he put them to sleep again, I think. Except Bolgroff, he was running away at the time.
Yeah.
What a tough guy, you know that Bolgroff? Really gets in the fight.
He's got a good heart.
Good heart. Golden heart.
And then we all leveled up and it ended.
But that's not where the whole story ends. That's where it ends for that campaign. But then, Simon and I went back to my house. We stayed at, we were at Oscar's house for this game. The person who plays Arthur, the fighter. And, now I DM 2 campaigns. DM stands for Dungeon Master for anyone who doesn't know. I laugh, but they probably don't.
Well, it's a bit far in the story to be telling them now.
Well, now they know. And PC means player character, because I definitely said that a few times.
You have.
So I DM 2 campaigns. I DM the one with Simon, Oscar, Brady, and Cooper. I can remember who I was forgetting. I almost said Jack. We used to have someone else in the party named Jack, who played your character's son, Callie, who then became an NPC in my cousin's campaign. And still kind of is, but is on his way out the door right now. So I had talked to my cousins about maybe having a guest character. And they were a little apprehensive at first because Cooper and Oscar both used to play in that campaign with them, and they did not like Cooper and Oscar at all, not one little bit. And kind of understandable because their play styles don't really mash well, so we got rid of those 2 characters, and then we started playing 2 characters each to balance it out. So I said, how do you guys feel about guest character? And they were like, well, as long as it's not Cooper or Oscar. I'm like, oh, it's not Cooper or Oscar. So I brought in Simon today, and he introduced a character, Dylan Rivers, who is a human male
swashbuckler rogue.
Which is pretty cool subclass, actually.
It doesn't do much, but it's still pretty cool.
Oh, it does much. You just were rolling really poorly. And also, you weren't really up against circumstances that were fair to... Well, they were fair, but they just weren't optimal.
Yeah.
So, in the in this campaign, I'll give you the wrap, and this is even for Simon too, because he doesn't even know this because he wasn't there for the last session for this one because he's not a part of that campaign. But I'll give you the same quick recap I did at the beginning of this session, where they just killed the blue dragon Freika off into the woods from a town called Greyfield, which is west of Torlstein, which is the town they live in and own a business in. So they walked back to Greyfield, and they realized, well, it's going to take us a really long time to get back home because they came to Greyfield by boat in the Underdark, which is a long story that I don't think we have time to tell right now. So they went and contacted this magic dwarf lady, who Etnige, the dwarf bard, went on a date with. I apologize, that didn't make any sense. They got super drunk, and then they both went home. Actually, no, Etnige got drunk and then went and fought a dragon.
That's how the dwarves do.
Yeah.
They really do be like that.
They really do be like that. So they said her name is something they start with an F, that's for sure. I think it was Felicia. It doesn't matter. They're never going to talk to her ever again. But hey, I got this funny makeshift teleportation circle I've been working on, but it's a little shaky. So I'm not too sure about it. Yeah, let's do it anyway. And it was totally fun. So it wasn't really a problem. But the problem arose when they landed in King Nomus' castle. We forgot an essential part of the last session. The session with yours. Like,
what?
Where Uriel went in the mirror. We didn't say that.
No, I think we did.
Oh, you said it. Yeah, that's why I forgot, because I didn't say it. If I didn't say it, it didn't happen. So lots of teleportation circles. We try to introduce some new. That is a spell, by the way. I didn't just make that up. So they get teleported to the only teleportation circle in Torlstein, which happens to be in King Nomus' castle. And our viewers with a watchful ear will notice that Nomus is just the word Simon spelled backwards. Because I am uncreative, and also my players named their characters by just spelling their own names backwards. I wanted a little taste of that, and I'm never going to do it again because it's terrible. Now, fun fact about one of Jeanette's characters, Nika Celeborn. She is the daughter of King Nomus Celeborn, King of Torlstein, and has run away from the castle, but now she's found dead center in the middle of it, and surrounded by guards. So the rest of her party and her pet giant weasel all slump back to the tavern. She has a lot of arguments with her father, but eventually they come to the agreement that she can go and adventure if she keeps a necklace on her that lets her father know she's in danger. So everyone met back up at the tavern where they met Dylan Rivers, who was Simon's guest character, who worked at the tavern as someone who could run to the village and buy things, because everyone who works at the tavern is either a orc, a goblin, a minotaur, or a bugbear. So,
except for Dylan, who is human.
Dylan is the only human, and Nosage, who owns it and is also one of Jason's characters, him and Dylan are the only people who can work there and can really be seen in town without being killed on sight. So Dylan's job was a very important one, to go into town and buy materials for the tavern. But, sometimes when you gotta get materials, you don't have the money for it. So you make way with them somehow. So he found a way to be quick on his feet and quick with his hands. So he became pretty active fighting. So when he heard that this party was going on a quest for their guild, he decided to tag along. And I forgot another part of the story, but we're just going to skip it because it's not that important. But I'll just a little footnote. Those watchful listeners of ours that I just mentioned earlier will notice that I said King Nomus in reference to both campaigns. That's because
take place in the same world on different continents.
Yes, which is hell, but it's also really fun. So if you'll notice, Uriel actually went to the same city and the same castle that Nika was in, and this is in 2 separate campaigns. And I didn't say this to you, podcast listeners, but Uriel at one point was within like 100 feet of Nika. So that's fun stuff. So they decide that they're going to go and investigate these people in the woods that are being controlled by who knows what, but they're heavily clad in armor, and they're being controlled by some unknown force. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Well, it's your campaign.
Yeah, but this is a podcast, not Matt talks about it.
True. Alright, so then we all go in, and attempt to take him out. Nosage turns into a T-Rex at one point.
Thanks to Lumez.
Thanks to Lumez. Bites the female.
Yeah, there was a human female and a male dwarf.
Bites the female, gets her in his mouth, and then continuously chomps her every turn. And then
Which, she didn't like.
she died in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would use his tail attack on the other guy.
The dwarf.
Where at the start of it, it was my character, Dylan, and the weasel attacking. And then I ran away, shot at him, missed. Ran back and tried to attack him, missed.
By one both times.
And then tried to get him with the dagger attack and missed.
Mm-hmm.
So, didn't do much.
But then on your next turn, you actually killed him.
And skewered his eyeball.
Yep. So that was all good fun. Simon's guest character got the final kill. Honestly, viewers, if you don't play D&D, and if you don't play D&D, you stopped listening to this like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, probably.
Because this is just like nonsense that we're speaking. You should try to, if you've been interested in playing D&D and you think about it, just talk to people about it.
It's a really fun game.
You probably already know someone that plays D&D, or at least is interested in learning. And you're probably going to be, everyone ends up being that person that's like, oh, but we can't find a DM. Just DM. It's not that hard.
Unless you're really bad at it.
No, Simon, you okay, we're not having this right now.
Alright. What next?
So, me and Simon, we share a favorite country singer. Of course. Mason Ramsey, 11-year-old superstar.
He's more successful than either of us are going to be in our lives. Combined.
And he's 11 years old. I think he's the greatest American success story. He was a meme because someone recorded him singing in a Walmart while dressed in like a bow tie and like dress pants. And he became a sensation. He performed at Coachella.
Which is pretty big.
Mm-hmm. He wrote his own original song. I mean, I don't know if he wrote it, but he's definitely sang it.
Famous is really good.
I know, like originally, like it was like a meme, but like Famous, I actually really like that song.
Unironically, it's really good.
And like honestly, he's just such a wholesome dude. I mean, he's 11 years old, so I mean, I haven't really been corrupted yet.
Yeah, not yet.
But like even at Coachella, where everyone is like on shrooms, he was just like up on stage. He was smiling. He's having a great time. He was like, "I love you, Coachella." I don't know. I didn't actually watch it, but he probably said something like that.
Probably. He seems like the type of guy that would.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think they like sent people up on stage with him?
I know Justin Bieber was up there with him at one point.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's it. Maybe.
Okay, guys. I didn't tell Simon I was going to do this, but viewers, we are in a Discord server, and every single day, Simon asks all of us, "How was your day?" And most of the time, he doesn't get a response from anyone. So Simon, I want to ask you today, how was your day?
Actually, it was pretty good. Pretty good. I got to play D&D twice. I appreciate that you've asked me, because nobody ever does. It's quite sad.
I know you did more than play D&D twice.
I did. I slept at one point. It's pretty nice. I'm planning on doing it again, but probably tomorrow, and not today.
Not today, because right now it's like 12:30.
Exactly. So. Wait a minute. No, then today I'll be sleeping.
Oh, in podcast listeners, you might not be able to tell because we're indoors in a place with no windows. Right now it is 12:30 a.m.
Pretty good.
This seltzer we're drinking tastes awful, and we're just playing it up for the
tastes like
camera.
cat piss.
It's so bad, but we didn't have any water bottles, and I was going to get thirsty if I just kept talking for an hour.
So, now we're drinking it.
Mm-hmm. Not sponsored.
Unfortunately.
In fact, whatever the opposite of a sponsorship is, that's what this is, because we will pay them to trash their product. I think is the opposite of a sponsorship.
It is, but you don't have to pay them to trash it. So.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be... Okay. This is a pointless argument.
Good point.
A pointless argument is a good point.
It is.
I think we should talk about Lights Crew a little bit.
Lights Crew, great crew.
How did it all start? Originally, it was actually just me and Danny that joined.
And then you both convinced me to join,
mm-hmm.
and then I joined. And that year was probably the best one.
Yeah, this one was still great, but I don't think it'll ever top Yazid and Whitney and Danny Sullivan.
Yazid, Whitney, Danny Sullivan,
Yeah.
Great people.
And we had a couple like bad apples in the beginning of the year. This light show.
Yeah.
This light show, like it's a seasonal event. Yeah, this light show wasn't.
This light show wasn't good.
But God, it was me and Danny joined for different reasons. Danny joined because he heard you could make money doing light stream because sometimes the dance recitals ask you to run the lights for their show, and that'll probably never happen because they just get the crew chief to do it, and I'm gonna be the crew chief next year.
Dylan is nice try.
Oh yeah, of course. It's actually Dylan Chinaski, who's a freshman this year and will be a sophomore next year. And we told Miss Budrick to make him the crew chief, and then we're like, actually no, make me the crew chief again. And she said, we'll see. So, I really don't know what's gonna happen. No one really does.
We'll have to see when it comes.
Yeah. I was assistant crew chief last year, so I think I'm like, and so was Warden.
And
yeah, we had a kid, Warden Kavanaugh, never like came to like meetings ever.
Left them early when he did came.
Yeah, when he did came.
When he did come,
he left early, and during one of our most like essential days where we queue up the whole show.
He wasn't there.
We have light queues, where we run the show. He just didn't come. Actually, a lot of kids didn't come. They got help.
It was me, you, Danny, Dylan,
and Tyler. No one else.
Peter came.
Peter was there. Yeah.
Peter's a great guy, but bad guy at the same time.
I'd like to be his friend. I don't like working for him.
Yeah. It's a bad experience.
But some funny stories about Peter. So we had colored lights this show.
Oh boy.
And he was like, alright, I want you guys to bring the red up by 10 and we bring it up by 20. And he was like, alright, that's perfect. Like, Peter doesn't even know what he wants.
One time, Danny told me this story.
Yeah.
Peter asked him to bring the house lights down a bit, and
he didn't change it.
Danny yells out, alright, and then Peter's like, alright, that's good. So, lights didn't change at all.
And Peter's like, I love it.
Great job, Danny.
Peter just wants us to, just do busy work for some reason, which is dumb, because Bloody Sunday, which is what we call the Sunday where we have to queue up the entire show, because we come in on a weekend to do it.
Yeah, fun times.
A whole weekend, like 10-hour work day, each day.
That was terrible.
It's awful. We need as much time as we can get because it takes forever. And then the Saturday before is when we hang up on the lights. Because, fun fact, we can't do any of our work until set crew builds the set so we know what we're pointing the lights at.
Yeah.
And set crew doesn't build the set until the week before the show, which we call Hell Week. It's officially called Tech Week, but everyone calls it Hell Week because it's hell. And it's hell especially for Lights Crew, more than anything.
Lights Crew has to do the most that week, and that's where we do all our work. We don't do anything beforehand.
No, we take inventory.
If by take inventory you mean not take inventory.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever taken inventory.
We tried.
Yeah, one time we did, and we were like, do you want us to wait? So, like, we have a box of lights. Do you want us to, like, count the lights? We're like, one box of lights. And then Mr. Budget was like, just don't do it. Like, he said that today. It's like, if it's this, like, weird, like, you don't even know what to do, just don't. I was like, okay. I can do that. No one cares about the lights inventory.
Yeah, like, it's not like set crew, where if they don't have all these drones and stuff, they won't be able to put up the set.
I mean, all of our lights come from Peter.
Yeah.
There's the lights that stay up, and then Peter like either has his own or he rents them, and we put them up and then we take them down. Like anything we have in the booth, we just like mess around with, like the flag light or like
the light switches.
Light. Yeah.
The strobe light.
The strobe light.
That's fun.
That's some good stuff. Yeah, we have a strobe light in the booth that if you put it on a dark room, it looks like real life is in a low FPS, which is pretty fun.
It's great fun to dance around and.
Yeah, we have raves in the booth like daily. And
it's pretty serious.
Should we talk about some of our plans for next year, or do we want to keep that quiet unless any future drama club members are listening? We want it to be a surprise.
I say we should keep it a surprise for now.
Yeah, I think so as well. Let's try to see if there's any Hub Crew members listening. We definitely don't want that. We're planning on doing
Hub Crew.
I'm so glad you just blew directly into that microphone.
I'll do it again.
Please
Not
don't.
right now though. Later. But Hub Crew.
Man, Hub Crew.
Why do they have to ruin our memes?
Yeah, so Hub Crew is short for House and Publicity Crew. And you might be wondering, how does House and Publicity get shortened to Hub? I don't know.
Don't question it.
No one knows.
Just
I
accept
think it's like
it.
the H in House and the Ub in Publicity, which
It's pretty dumb.
that's pretty dumb, yeah. Just call it like H, like just call it Hap.
Hub.
Like Hap. You know how like hair and makeup is ham? Just call it Hap. House and Publicity.
Hap and ham.
Hap and ham. Anyway, so they're in charge of tickets, and we have a program that we put ads in. You have to sell $100 worth of ads. You buy a full page ad for $100, a half page for $50, a quarter for $25, or you can buy a one-liner, which is there's a piece at the end of the program where parents or uncles or grandparents or whoever, just friends,
Normally, just buy one and wish luck to somebody.
Yeah, you can spend $10 for one line at the end of the program. So they do stuff like that. I once made a full page ad and I gave them $100 of my own money, and it was me at my workplace. I was dabbing. I got my coworker to take a picture of me dabbing, and it said, "Matthew Garrison is here to remind you that drugs are bad." And they came up to me and they said, "We can't put this in the program." I was like, "Okay," and they never gave me my money back. They took my money and they didn't do my ad in the program. And then when they were reading out the names of the people that didn't give the money, my name was on that list.
I'm pretty sure you're the only person in Lights Crew who's raised a cent for the drama club.
I think you're right. I feel like Tyler might have.
Probably not. He told me he didn't.
I know he said he never sold a single ad. He never bought tickets for people.
I once tried to sell tickets with Krishan, who was the first member this year to die. Not actually die, but...
Yeah, we call it, whenever someone leaves Lights Crew, we say they die. If they graduate, they die peacefully. If they get kicked out, they're murdered by Mrs. Butcher. We had how many murders?
Let's see. Krishan, Owen, Casey, Warden, Nick Maggio.
And Chris is an iffy one, because I think he left on his own accord to join Sound Crew.
I don't think he left at all.
No, he's definitely joining Sound Crew.
Alright. I don't know if that counts as a death, though.
Yeah. He just died from nature.
Different labor camp.
Yeah, different labor camp.
Different gulag.
Yeah, instead of being under me, he's under the Sound Crew chief, Fred Stelling.
Great guy.
Yeah.
I love him. He's a great guy.
So.
His son's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he's still on the crew.
Yeah, seriously, just admit that you're just there being shows. Come on. You know what's funny, Simon? Apparently, my good friend Megan Bach was telling me that there's like this whole like drama and like allied, like unofficially, like they're not like declaring themselves allies. Like the downstairs. Okay, so Lights in the Sound Crew, we have a booth, right?
It's very small, but somehow we all fit in there.
We're gonna be able to fit this year.
Yeah,
we
definitely.
had 11 people at the beginning of last year, and this is like, how many square feet do you think this booth is? Like 20?
Probably.
It's like 20, and we have to have Sound Crew in there too, which had 6 people at the beginning of the year. So 17 people total in 20 square feet. That's like 1.2 square foot per people or something like that. A little less, like 1.1 something. No, 1.3 or something. This doesn't matter, right? So we have a booth up there. So we're pretty. So Lights and Sound Crew, we're pretty happy, wholesome crews. We don't have like drama with any other. We have like our playful rivalry with Hub. I think they actually hate us.
I actually hate them.
I would hate us if I was Hub, honestly.
But I hate them. Like,
I think Hub is going to be a lot better this year.
They could have just put in our one little thing, and then we would have been happy.
Oh, let's tell that story. Long walks on the beach.
What a great time. Yazid Hadoui. Not how it's pronounced, but I'll still say it.
Hate it way.
Yazid Hadoui.
Alright.
He gave us this great idea. He says, everybody, on your bio.
We have bios that we have to put under our names in the program. They always get changed. No matter what you write, Hub Crew says it's inappropriate.
You guys got to write something that has to do with long walks on the beach and you enjoying them.
Mm-hmm.
So we all did.
We all wrote that we love long walks on the beach.
They came and told us off.
Yeah. Publicly. They didn't directly say it, but they said, and for the people who wrote that they love long walks on the beach, we said don't write anything dumb because we're not going to put it in. I don't think that was that dumb.
We should have writ their names and watched them not put them in.
Writ their names. Writ their names.
That's what I said, and I will not change it. Because I cannot go back in time.
Man, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so Hub Crew always changes their bios no matter what. So we just started just putting random stuff in.
Just writing gibberish.
So I remember one year. So we just started like writing things, like they would give us like bio sheets, but we would never get them, and they'd be like, bios are due today. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna grab like a napkin or something.
I'm pretty sure Danny wrote it on the.
I wrote it on the back of a water bottle strip.
Yeah, that was you. I thought that was Danny.
Well, actually, originally, I handed them to her, and she's like, you don't have one in here. right? Or no, she was like looking at our roster.
Yeah.
Or no. Originally I gave like a bunch of people didn't do it. Because we didn't care because they were just going to change it.
Yeah.
Like 3 people wrote one, and I handed it. I was like, "Here's lights grades," and they're like, "You're missing so many, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, because you're just going to change it. Like, you have to write one. Okay, we might not change it, but you are going to change it.
It doesn't matter what we write.
It was some senior girl. I don't even know her name to this day.
Mm.
It was a senior in sophomore year, so you still don't know. She's graduating this year, so it's not my problem anymore.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Don't come back unless you do.
The lights
Then
in this basement just
you're allowed. It's pretty spooky down here. If the lights go out,
podcast won't stop. We're gonna keep going.
we have to continue. The show has to go on.
Yeah.
If one of us gets stabbed, we have to continue.
Yeah. I'm not gonna like save his life or anything.
Yeah.
If he stops talking, I'll be a little disappointed, but I'll just keep going.
The murderer will have to join in.
Yeah, just push you off the plate. Hi, my name's David.
He just killed this young 16-year-old boy.
Yep.
And now I'm ready to join this podcast.
Yeah. Hi, Dave. Welcome to Soul Podcast. Yeah. So Hub Crew. So I was like, okay, and I wrote mine on the back of a water bottle thing, and I wrote my name on the top of Matthew Garrison. I just wrote, "Screw you, Hub Crew," because I was mad that day about like something else. So I just had like a lot of pent up anger. I was like, I'm gonna take it out on Hub Crew.
Hub Crew deserves it
It
sometimes.
wasn't even like a swear. I said, "Screw you, Hub Crew."
Frick off, nerds.
Frick off, right? And I wrote my name on it. That was my bio. And I handed it to her, and I was like going down the stairs, and she like runs up behind me. I'm like at the bottom of the stairs off the stage, and she's like, "Who in your crew is Matthew Garrison?" And I was like, "Oh, you just missed him. He went up to the booth, he just turned the corner. I just saw him leave, and I saw her go, and the moment she turned the corner, I went out and I just hid in the ISS room for like half an hour."
Damn, that's pretty sneaky
I
right
still
there.
don't know what she did, because she must have gone up to the booth and been like, "Where's Matthew Garrison?" And they probably were just like, "I don't know."
I don't think
You were in the ISS room when I went in there.
Yeah,
So,
who knows?
none of us were in the booth because we were all in the ISS room. So she probably went up to the booth, knocked, and nobody answered. Or no, because there was tape on the door. So she probably opened the booth and no one was in there except
Dude,
like Miles or something.
I hate when people just go and sit in the booth.
I know. Get out of our booth. We barely have enough room for us.
It's ours.
The worst is when they take a chair.
Ooh.
Like, we have 3 chairs. There's how many people in like each crew combined? Like 9? Like
Yeah.
9 or 10?
Now,
And that's not even counting the freshmen we might get.
might.
We have
Probably
like,
not.
We have like what, 3 or 4 chairs in the booth, and there's 10 of us. A lot of us have to stand in the hallway.
We sit on each other's laps.
We do.
That's always comfortable.
There's a picture of I think you sitting on Danny's lap, and I'm in the back
Flipping off the camera.
Yeah. I
This is a
love
good picture. Some pretty good times in drama.
Yeah. We quit for a little bit, for like a week, and then came back. And she's like, "All right, well, we'll see if Dylan's getting crew chief still." Okay.
Did you ever talk to her?
Yeah, I talked to her, and she was like, why'd you leave? And I actually left because I thought I didn't want to do drama anymore, because Miss Budrick's kind of a mean person. And Peter is kind of I'm going to say, Peter's a cunt.
I'm trying to keep it PG.
Nope. Peter's a cunt, I'm going to say.
Alright.
And I was having an emotional night, and I emailed her. No, I talked to you first. I didn't want to just email her.
Yeah. You messaged me and Danny. You were like, hey guys.
Is it just me or does drama suck, right? Well, what's the point of doing it next year? Tyler's not going to be there. Yazid's gone. But I'm glad we didn't do it, because you know we would have been exactly the same as Danny Sullivan.
We would have.
Danny Sullivan, when we were freshmen, he was a sophomore, and he was in the night crew. And when we moved up and he moved up to junior year, he left because it was too much for him. Because he had to play 2 sports a season because his mom made him, and Yazid wasn't there anymore, so what was the point?
Yeah.
He's really good buddies with Yazid. I envy their friendship.
It was a good friendship.
Anyway, I did have a topic I was trying to get into, and I totally forgot about it. Apparently, there's like whole, like, unofficial like alliances down there,
Yeah.
and we have no idea because what do we know? We spend all our time away from everyone else. We're like the Hawaii of drama club. Like we have no idea what's going on.
We should try to figure out
Like we're
who's with who.
well, like it's like I bet Hawaii doesn't even know about any like the American stereotypes. Like someone could do like a surfer thing. It's like, I guess they're in Hawaii. That's a really bad example.
They're
Like
around
someone did like a New
plenty of
York
surfers.
accent. If someone did like a New York
They
accent.
wouldn't understand
Like,
it.
what are you doing? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why are you talking to dumb?
Why did you just say bada bing, bada boom?
Time to hit you with a broom.
I'm gonna check our time here. Alright, we're about 40 minutes in.
Damn.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot more time has passed than I thought.
Really? I thought we were only like 15 minutes.
Exactly.
I
wonder how many people are gonna watch through to this point.
Oh, no one's watching at this point.
Hold up.
You can say whatever you want.
Idea.
Okay. What's your idea?
For all those people that are still watching, contact us. And, yeah.
They might be strangers.
That's
Probably
fine.
not. No stranger watched this podcast till 40 minutes. We are gonna have like one person watch this, and it's gonna be like Brady.
Brady actually might.
No, Brady's gonna watch like 10 minutes of it and get bored.
I don't think anybody's gonna watch all the way through the end.
Jeanette might like listen to it while she's at work.
You know, I'm gonna watch it a couple times.
I will, because I'm gonna have to edit this down, like put our title screen in.
It's gonna be great fun. We're gonna advertise the hell out of it, and by advertise I mean show everybody, then they won't watch it.
Speaking of advertising, we have a Discord server.
Oh boy, World O Goons.
World O Goons. I will try to remember the link and invite you to that Discord server in the description. We have a lot of good times in World O Goons. This is an advertisement, but it's also an opportunity to tell more stories. The timer goes off, I actually see it go off. So we have a lot of good fun in World of Goons. We have
For the most part.
people from all over the world. And by all over the world, I mean like just North America, basically. But we have some Canadians, some Mexicans, mostly Americans.
I don't think we have any Mexicans.
Isn't Jenny Mexican?
Florida.
Oh, she's like Hispanic. She lives in Florida. Okay, I mean,
Same with Peach, except Peach is in New Jersey.
yeah. Well, I thought Kitchen Miller was in New Jersey.
She's there too. And
I
so is
didn't
Papa
know.
Whiskey.
God.
Papa Whiskey.
You know Papa Whiskey lives like 90 miles from us?
Yeah.
He could kill us. He doesn't kill. No, he. Okay, this is again.
He sent me like pictures, like memes, with no
I'm
context.
really glad you finished that sentence because if you just said pictures, I was gonna make a whole different intro. Let's tell you about Papa Whiskey.
Oh boy, what a he was a great guy at first.
So originally, World of Goons was Simon's server, right? Well, actually, we gotta go real originally. Originally, we had a server called Big Boys. That was Simon, our friend Danny, our friend Owen, and our friend Tyler.
We would use it to play like Overwatch, other video
Like
games,
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah, this was a long time. It was like 3 years ago now.
2.
2?
It's a year and almost 2 years.
Oh yeah, we didn't even like make.
My account's only about 2 years old.
Yeah, we made Big Boys like public at like the end of January, so I'm very off in my estimate. But so then they added me to it, and then Simon told me one day, he's like, "Hey, I want to make this like a public server and get a bunch of people in it." So we shilled, which is basically just advertising and posting the link everywhere. And Danny was like, "Why are you doing this? Don't do this." And I was like, "I'm gonna post this link on 4chan." And Danny was like, "Don't do that." And he
Don't
was
do
right.
that.
For the most part, don't do that.
Except
But
we got
us-
Sabi.
They got probably one of our best people we've ever had in the server, which was Sabrina, who lives in Canada. I was almost about to say her town, but I'm not going to do that. She lives in Canada, and then she brought in her friend Kiana, who also lives in Canada. And from there, we had a hustling, bustling server for a while. We had Hey Man, I'm a Dude, who banned for no reason.
I don't know. I don't know what
He was the first person we ever had before Sabi.
Yeah. I don't know why.
So Simon was always trying to get the server active, right? He always wanted an active server because we were in another server that Danny added us to. I'm not going to go into that because then there's going to be like 3 new subtopics.
Yeah.
But it was a very active server, and Simon wanted to own a server like that.
Just because it would be cool, you know?
So he was always trying new ways to get him to be active. And one day he said, "If you haven't said anything in the past week, I'm banning you." I like to call this the Great Purge. He banned like 3/4 of the server. He banned the first person that was ever added when he made it public, just because.
You know? And
I still have a picture of him on my computer because he sent a picture of himself. I
I don't
wonder
know
what
why
he's
I
doing
did
right
that.
now. He might be dead.
I don't know why I did that.
That was not a good decision.
It wasn't.
Anyway,
But I did it, and I can't change it now.
Big Boys,
It died.
it died very quickly after that. It became just a halt because the only people that were still in it that ever talked were like me, you, T, and Sabi, and even they.
They
It's
barely
mostly
talked.
just you. Even I didn't say that much most of the time.
Yeah.
So then, after like a month and a half of just having a dead server, where
I deleted it.
you said, "Guys, I'm gonna delete Big Boys," and we're like, "No, don't," and you're like, "No, you guys never talk in here. Don't say no, don't."
And then I deleted it. And then right after, I got to work on World of Goons, but I didn't tell anybody that I was working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I messaged everyone. I was like, "Yeah, I just made this new server." But
Well,
this
first
was
I
like,
actually said, can you just come in here and check it out? Tell me it's all good.
I asked Danny first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I asked you, and then I asked Hacker.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know, ask Hacker.
Yeah.
Hacker owns the other server we were just talking about that's very active and popular. But they're all people from 4chan.
So it's not that good of a place. It's just active.
Yeah, they're kind of like really anti-Semitic and racist and sexist, but you know, that's 4chan.
It's still fun.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta like, I would never want to be friends with any of these people, but they're fun to have a Discord server.
Hacker.
Hacker's a pretty cool guy.
He's a chill guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we?
Yeah, so anyway, we make World of Goons, and it just
yeah.
blows up. I don't know what you do differently, but I think it just shilled relentlessly.
Yeah,
and
man.
we got a lot of cool people. We got this really cool guy, Papa Whiskey, great dude, can do no wrong. Yeah,
that's what we thought.
That's what we thought. He was
Wait till later.
He was 15, like us at the time. Or no, you were 16. I was 15.
Yeah, man.
And he was a cool guy. We got this guy, Absolute Unit.
He's a unit.
Yeah, he's huge,
wide boy,
widest boy in the game. We got a Jenny, Peach Puffy, Kitchen Dweller. Or is it Puffy?
It's Puffy.
Yeah, Peach Puffy. I didn't know what to say it. I knew what it was. I didn't know what to say it. And it just exploded. So
40 plus, more successful than Big Boys.
More than Big Boys ever was. Even like people that like 40 plus. And we
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So then I said, Simon, this is a great server, but I don't think you can run it alone. Simon owned the server, but I had admin privileges in case we ever had to do anything.
Yeah.
So I suggested we instate a constitutional monarchy. Because although I don't really think it would be a great government system in practice in real life, I think for a Discord server it would work great. Because having multiple admins, if one is offline.
You said monarchy. I think you meant oligarchy.
Oh, have I been saying monarchy this whole time?
You said monarchy. You did.
Okay, well, I meant constitutional oligarchy. Constitutional monarchy is
completely different.
Yeah. And did I say constitutional? I meant democratic. I was very wrong. Anytime I said any of those terms, replace it with democratic oligarchy. God, sorry. I just took a global readings.
Global wasn't hard.
It wasn't, but I have all the terms in my head now. That was like stupid. We're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, let's get back to the subject.
Mm-hmm. So we had a democratic oligarchy, and so every 2 months on the 29th, so March 29th, May 29th, July 29th, we would have an election day, and you can vote before that. You vote for 5 people. You have 5 votes, and you have to vote for 7 people, and you can vote for yourself, and you're kind of dumb if you don't.
Yeah,
unless
extremely.
Unless you don't want to run.
True.
But if you are running and you don't vote for yourself, what do you do? You just hit the table so bad.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's fine. We've probably been hitting it so much.
Forgive me.
So we let that out to everyone, and we made a channel called Campaigning, and it exploded. And the 5 people that got elected were me, you, Papa Whiskey, Jenny, and my cousin Jason, who we were telling about earlier in our D&D stories.
Yeah. Great guy, except not sometimes.
Dude, don't say that. You already said you hate him for some reason.
I don't actually hate him. He's a cool guy.
But what was I talking about?
People elected.
Oh yes, and so we have the 5 people. We might up it to 7 if we get a lot more people later. But
yeah.
Right now it's 5. 5 is good. So it's great. We discuss things that we want to change about the server, and we take votes on it, which is why we have an odd number. So there's always going to be
one
majority or a minority. So then, Papa Whiskey, great guy. Jenny, great gal. Jason, we already know Jason. We know he's
pretty cool guy.
Cool guy, great guy. Of course, we're amazing.
Yeah, we're the best on the server.
We're most active. Not me, just you. But
I'm the most active. Every time I have all post notifications turned on for it. Anytime anybody says something, I always hop on.
We have a topic called the Degeneration Station. Oh, we deleted the Degeneration.
The entire Degeneration Station.
Yeah, we had one called the Degeneration Station. I said, Simon, you're going to moderate that on here, and I'm not looking at it. We had channels such as porn, hentai, kink talk, and what was it? Anime shit or something?
Weeb shit,
yeah. Which was in the Degeneration Station. It wasn't even not safe for work.
I think.
It was just anime. Which is, you're a degenerate if you watch anime, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Every single one of my friends watches anime, so.
That includes me.
Mm-hmm. I, out of principle, don't watch anime, but one time he paid me $5 to watch one.
I'd say it was worth it, but it wasn't, because he didn't watch the entire series like I thought he was going to.
Yeah, he thought I was going. I just watched the first episode.
It was still a good episode.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but
It wasn't
I
terrible.
just can't watch it out of principle.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Papa Whiskey. So we think Papa Whiskey's this cool guy, and then I find out I was actually I was in Disney World at the time, just to flex and hit my microphone twice. Once while I was talking about hitting it for the first time, and I was, I wasn't active on Discord because I was
in Disney.
Yeah, on Splash Mountain at the time, and I just on the bus ride back to the resort, I'm like looking in the chat, and everyone's like, "Papa Whiskey, terrible man, terrible person. He's banned." I'm like, "Why is Papa Whiskey banned?" I unbanned him. I invited him back. Someone banned Papa Whiskey. And he's like, inside, he's like, "I banned Papa Whiskey." I was like, "What happened?" And he said, "We're not gonna say their names because it's kind of like way too much of a breach of privacy." But
what he did.
There are 2 people on the server, one male, one female, who he sent penis pictures to.
And harassed them into trying to get pictures back.
Which is gross and terrible. So,
good thing he wasn't successful at it.
No, he was not much of a smooth talker. Especially not when he opened up with a picture of penis.
Exactly.
So we banned him, and so we brought in the person who had the next highest number of votes in the election, who was, there was actually a tie, but luckily one of the people, the person that was tied with, was no longer in the server, who was autist. So we bring my cousin Jeanette, who is also Jason's cousin. We're all cousins,
except for me.
Yep. So she had.
So if you really think about it, the oligarch is a bit corrupted right now.
Not really, because
you 2 could just combine your efforts. 3, you 3.
No, I feel like Jason wouldn't do it, and neither would Jeanette.
Maybe.
I mean, I've already shown the corruption of using 3 different accounts to get what I want. But that's a whole thing. So we bring my cousin Jeanette, or Entropire on the server, into the oligarchy, and it's been great. It's been good. It's been fun. We have me, you, and Oscar. We have voice chat parties where we show each other new music.
Blonde Boys doing what Blonde Boys do.
Blonde Boys, what a great song.
It's unironically good.
I know most meme songs are like actually good, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Wow, we were going somewhere with that.
Game nights, which made things super active.
I think that's what really brought World of
and
Games
custom roles for people.
Every admin has their own role. I have Bravo's Cats because my name is Bravo Cat. You have your
Dad's favorite kids.
Your name is Dad, so we have Dad's favorite kids.
Jenny has Jenny's pennies.
Oh, actually, Jeanette doesn't have one. I think about it, but
she needs to make one.
So long story, Jason's name on our Discord server is Gary, based on a commercial from Gary's Gutter Service, not sponsored, but Gary.
Like Flickr.
Gary, if you're listening, I would definitely take sponsorship of Gary's Gutter Service.
I would as well.
They have these amazing commercials where he sings and dances disco, right? So he ran as Gary from Gary's Gutter Service. So his role is called Gutter Boys.
Yeah, his entire thing was that he cleans gutters. Except he said it in weird ways.
No, you just interpreted it to be weird. He did not even use weird language. He's like, "I'll clean your gutter," and
he did a winky face at me one time.
Oh, did he?
He did. So.
God, let me just talk right into my filter can while we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know what you said. I'm not even listening through a microphone.
Great.
So World of Goons, I'll try to remember to put that in the description of this YouTube video, which it should be. Maybe I can get this on iTunes. Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know how iTunes works. I've never used it before in my life. So there's a lot of podcasts on there.
If we ever blow up, we should get this all on Spotify.
Oh yeah, Spotify.
Spotify, and we should add it to best songs.
Best songs.
All of them.
It's like okay. So Simon made an episode that was called Best Songs, and I wanted to he showed it to me when we were riding the late bus home from something. It wasn't Drama, because Drama ends at 5:30 after the late bus. Taking the late bus home from something.
I don't remember where it was.
I don't either. But so he puts on music for me, and he puts it on his phone, gives me an earbud, and it's all metal music at the time. It was all. It
wasn't all metal. It was rock.
Rock, metal. There was a lot of metal, and I really never listened to metal before. I was like, wow, this is good.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I was like, can you share this with me? And Simon doesn't understand that you can just make a link and send it to someone. So he added me to the playlist so I could add songs.
I just made it public.
Really?
Anybody can add to it.
Why is that a feature on Spotify?
I don't know, but it is.
Seems like grounds for griefing. Anyway, seems kind of silly. Anyway, So then we just started adding any song. Like I added a bunch of songs from my general playlist. There's some songs from Phineas and Ferb on there, and so my mom started listening to that for workout music, which is really funny because it's like the rock and the metal, like that makes
And then
sense.
it swaps to Phineas and Ferb.
And like songs from like YouTubers.
Riff Shop.
Yeah, Riff Shop. There's just like there's a bunch of weird ones on there.
Everyone thinks I'm gay.
Oh yeah, everyone.
From
Everyone's
somebody in
a
the
bit
solo. Everyone. Avenue Q is great.
Avenue Q's really great. We'll say that in the next episode because
We'll talk about musicals next episode.
that's the theme. You know, I gotta say something. I'm gonna miss the seniors that we had this year for Drama Club.
Yeah.
Like last year's seniors, we were only really losing like one good one, which was like, Yazid. And Whitney was pretty cool.
Whitney was alright. Nobody really talked to her, unfortunately.
She wasn't. I feel like Whitney was pretty underrated.
She was.
Remember, I wrote her like a letter, and I just wrote like sappy shit. Like I barely talked to Whitney at all. I was like, you know, we all love Yazid, but you're truly underappreciated. Which that's actually true. She really was underappreciated. She did a lot, and no one ever thanked her. We didn't thank Yazid either, to be fair, but at least we were friends with her.
At least we talked to him.
Yeah. And she cried when she read it. And I was like, oh man, I feel bad because I didn't mean any of that.
Dude, I remember the basket I made for her.
He made a basket with they strung fairy lights through, or Christmas lights.
It was just, I think it was just normal lights. It was like, it wasn't lights. It was like lights on
a wire, which is Christmas lights or fairy lights.
Lights.
Yeah. Because we're Lights Crew, and that was the whole thing. But man, this year we're losing so many great seniors. We're losing Tyler, Logan, Julia. Who's some other good ones?
Rhonda Ehlers is okay.
No. Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia. He's a good guy.
That's a state.
Logan, the big buff boy.
Yeah. Julia.
I didn't really talk to her much.
With all my heart, my favorite senior.
Bella Martinez.
Bella Martinez. You know, she's such a lovely person. She loves Lights Crew so much.
We love you too, Hub Crew.
Yeah, we love you, Hub Crew.
Except we don't. Don't talk to us.
No, honestly, I think Hub Crew next year.
It's gonna be so much better.
I don't have any problem with the new Hub Crew. I think this year they finally got any bad apples out of Hub Crew.
We still got some bad apples in our
like
basket.
Who's in Hub Crew? Like Emily Eichler, Megan Box, Zach Zaire. Wait, who? What is
Christian Santiago.
Wait, what are the bad apples we have? There's 4 of us.
Everyone but me.
That's fair.
And I'm pretty sure everyone in Lights Crew thinks the same thing.
I think my favorite Lights Crew meme ever is Hub Crew is the second worst crew, and then someone's like, "Who's the worst crew?" Like Lights.
Because if you really think about it,
we are. God, if I was in any other crew and like there was a second meme or something, because I feel like if I wasn't in the crew,
yeah,
like it wouldn't be as bad as it was because Danny would have left. If there was like a second me somehow, and I would like hate Lights Crew.
Lights Crew is terrible, honestly.
Although I think our PR is about to skyrocket.
Definitely. Now that we've lost all those people.
You got a minute left on time.
That's fine. We can. You want to cue up the music?
Yeah, we'll wrap this up. So So this is our podcast. If you made it this far, seriously, thank you. If you actually listened to us talk about like garbage for an hour, there was no semblance of theme. I mean, we're just doing this for fun. We don't actually expect anyone to watch this.
First episode, no theme.
A fresh start. No theme. We just spitballing. Maybe we'll try to establish some themes in the future.
Yeah.
This has been the Somewhat Mickey podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
Stay fresh.
I really hope you were not cut off the screen that entire time, because just now you were.
Well, I've moved my chair back a couple times and stuff, but if I am,
who cares?
Too bad. You're the star of the show.
It's a podcast. Alright, thanks for watching.
Peace out, pals. Stay fresh.
Stay fresh.